This is the Gerry Callahan Show.
So here's your job today. If you are Jessica Tarloff or Abby Phillip or the New York Times or Joe Scarborough, your job today is to feign outrage about what the Trump administration is doing in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital, a place with a murder rate 4 times higher than Los Angeles, 6 times higher than New York City. That's the bad news. The good news is we just went 1 week without a murder in D.C. So now if you're a Democrat, if you're a media, if you're in the mainstream media, a Trump hater, you have to explain how that is a bad thing, how the people in D.C. don't want no murders. That's where we are right now. Pam Bondi just announced 630 arrests in D.C. since the crackdown began a week ago. 86 illegal guns taken off the street and nobody killed. And here's what you're going to hear from the media, that the people in D.C. don't want this. They don't like this. Yeah, the people in D.C., the elderly white people from the suburbs who came in to scream at J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller yesterday. Trump's guys made an appearance at Union Station, which used to be an absolute mess. Homeless, crime, people were afraid to go there, a train station in our nation's capital. That has all changed. They have cleaned it up thanks to this this action by Trump, sending in the National Guard and other federal forces. So people can go there with their family. They can take a train. They can get something to eat. They can go on a tour. They can walk the area in our nation's capital. You would think this would be one thing we could all agree on. That is a good thing to stop violent crime in Washington, D.C., to stop the 1%, as Stephen Miller points out, who are terrorizing the 99%. This is perhaps the greatest chess move Trump has made, stopping violent crime, stopping murder in D.C., and forcing the Democrats to cry and scream and say, fascism, let's not go along with a plan to save lives, to protect people in Washington, D.C. Here's Vance and Hegseth and Stephen Miller strolling through Union Station, and here is your Democrat Party, a bunch of deranged white people, angry that they're stopping crime. Oh, also that they're not doing anything to advance climate justice. Check this out.
Fuck you, Pete. Fucking Nazi.
Look at them. Imagine being on their side. You got some white guy about, I don't know, 30 years old. Get out of my city. It is not your city, punk. It's everybody's city. And what they're doing is needed. I think people who live there are grateful. People who visit, tourists are grateful to see federal forces enforcing the law and protecting people. Well, in the old days, Republicans would just take it. You know, you'd get heckled, you'd get criticized, and just take it. That has changed. The Trump guys don't just take it. They give it right back. And there's no one better at this than the great Stephen Miller, who they held a brief press conference here in the train station. And they also bought burgers for the National Guardsmen, thanked them for their duty. Just a great gesture on the part of these three. But while they were speaking, you could hear those crazy white people out there. Probably none of them live in D.C. None of them is concerned about their safety. They're not walking around there at night. Now that's the black people. We don't care about them. We care about these elitist brats screaming about fascism and calling J.D. Vance a Nazi. God, that is just pathetic. Again, imagine being on their side. Imagine that's your take. You get up in the morning, you say, I hate this Trump administration so much that I'm going to come out for violent criminals, their right to continue carjacking in our nation's capital. Here's Stephen Miller.
For too long, 99% of this city has been terrorized by 1% of the city. And the voices that you hear out there, those crazy communists, they have no roots. They have no connections to the city. They have no families they're raising in this city. They have no one that they're sending to school in this city. They have no jobs in this city. They have no connections to this community at all. They're the ones who've been advocating for the 1%, the criminals, the killers, the rapists, the drug dealers. And I'm glad they're here today. Because me, Pete, and the vice president are all going to leave here, and inspired by them, we're going to add thousands more resources to this city to get the criminals and the gang members out of here. We're going to dismantle those networks, and we're going to prove that a city can serve for the law-abiding citizens who live there. We are not going to let the communists destroy a great American city, let alone the nation's capital. And let's just also address another thing. All these demonstrators that you've seen out here in recent days, all of these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city. It never happened. And by the way, most of the citizens who live in Washington, D.C. are black. This is not a city that has had any safety for its black citizens for generations. And President Trump is the one who is fixing that with the support of the Metropolitan Police Department, the support of the National Guard, and our federal law enforcement officers. So we're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old, and we're going to get back to the business of protecting the American people and the citizens of Washington, D.C.
That's the new slogan for the Trump administration. Ignore the elderly white hippies. That's the resistance that's who's leading the resistance right now. Elderly white hippies. They weren't all elderly, but they were white and they were hippies and they were communists and they were fools, absolute fools. They are out there fighting, trying to stop an effort to protect black people in our nation, protect tourists, protect interns who go to McDonald's at 10 o'clock at night from getting shot in the head, protect Big Balls and his girlfriend from being carjacked. That's not happening right now in our nation's capital, and the media hates it. J.D. Vance was asked, this is amazing. Oh, the polls, this is another one you hear on CNN all day, MSNBC. The polls say people in D.C. don't want this. They want carjackings. They want murder. They want crime. They want criminals running wild, gangs of teenage criminals on dirt bikes out there, mugging, beating people up, stealing cars. Here's Vance's response when one of these hacks in the media say, the polls show people don't like this. They don't like law and order. Go ahead.
Polls show that a majority of D.C. residents don't support the Guard here. So what's your message to the majority of D.C. residents?
I'm highly skeptical that a majority of D.C. residents don't want their city to have better public safety and more reasonable safety standards within Washington, D.C. I don't know what poll you're talking about. Maybe the same polls that said Kamala Harris would win the popular vote by 10 points.
Exactly right. There's not, those are the fakest of fake polls. We played you all, the residents, the people, the boxing coach, the old lady who said she can't leave her house after dark. Someone who's lived there her whole life, she can't go outside. There's no way in hell any DC resident who can now go drive without being fearful of being carjacked or shot in the head is upset that there are federal forces backing up the Metropolitan Police. Here's just a few of the residents who are thrilled to see law enforcement in their streets.
I enjoy having extra security. I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
It's a good thing because it actually reinforces the fact that America is secure, safe, stable.
Elliot Reed says he supports the federal involvement.
As a moderate, as a centrist, I think something needs to be done. I have 3 kids. I'm about to start teaching next week. I want it to be safe.
He wants to be safe, and it is for once. For once in generations, it's been decades since DC has descended into a hellscape and has, if it were its own state, it would have by far the highest murder rate in the country. It is a really dangerous place. And we'll ask again, why do we allow that? Why do we allow our nation's capital to become so violent and dangerous? It's a choice. And Trump has made the choice to clean it up, to make it safe again, and force Democrats to defend criminals. Perhaps my favorite moment from yesterday. This was just great. There's a video of a illegal alien being arrested. He gets out of his car and he attempts to make a run for it, and he's tackled by an ICE agent. Here's the video right here. It's great. There's a couple of agents, cops. I'm not sure. Oh, is this an ICE guy or a cop? And he just tackles the guy, brings him down as he steps out of his car. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 agents, cops there. They're restraining him right now. They arrest him. That video goes viral like instantly, which as on cue, Democrats, media members found that to be outrageous. Oh, how they treat this poor guy just trying to make a living, trying to find a better life for his family. And they do what they always do. They just impulsively, reflexively react and in outrage and disgust. Here's Jessica Tarloff from The Five. She tweets, "This doesn't make D.C. safer. It'll just make people not come to D.C. The cruelty is always the point." So that, according to a Democrat in good standing, a Fox News contributor, is cruelty, arresting an illegal alien. I mocked her even before all the facts came out, but you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. And this was within an hour. We find out that the illegal alien was wanted for raping a 13-year-old child. The illegal alien entered the country illegally 3 times. This is a real bad hombre. But it didn't stop Democrats, media people from saying that is cruelty. Cruelty to arrest a guy who raped a 13-year-old child. And Jessica Tarloff, of course, was mocked relentlessly. Stephen Miller himself said, "Why are you defending a illegal alien pedophile?" She deleted the tweet, but it was saved for posterity because she's a joke. I mean, honest to God, she was not the only one. All kinds of, oh, this is just awful. What do they think? You're supposed to let him go? You're supposed to say, "Oh, you're going to work?" That's what he said. He said he was just trying to go to work. He has a family. Well, he also has a pending conviction of raping a child. That's who's getting arrested for the most part. Even if it's not, even if it's just an illegal alien, so what? That's what we voted for. That right there is what we voted for. But Democrats have lost their minds. They have boxed themselves in. They have painted themselves into a corner. They are all in on defending illegal alien criminals. Give me that Ed Markey tweet from yesterday. I obviously mocked my junior senator, the dumbest man in the U.S. Senate. I asked the question, when is he going to say anything about Elizabeth Camacho? She's the 48-year-old Cambridge woman who was killed by an illegal alien 6 days ago in Lewiston, Maine. An illegal alien from Angola who shouldn't have been behind the wheel, was driving a Buick, which is important to the Boston Globe. Buick killed a woman, jumped the curb, killed her. Not a word. I've checked every day. Nothing from Liz Warren, her Cambridge neighbor. Nothing from Maura Healey. Nothing from Janet Mills, the governor of Maine, who gave the guy a learner's permit, and now a woman is dead. Here's to Ed Markey, senator from Massachusetts, yesterday, posing with illegal aliens. Not a word about the woman, his constituent, who was killed by an illegal alien. He says, "I'm proud to stand with TPS recipients as they face inhumane threats of deportation from the Trump administration. Your fight is our fight." Well, that is true. That is the fight Democrats are engaged in right now, protecting illegals and not giving a damn about their victims, not giving a damn about the cost of this invasion of their guy, Joe Biden, their the Democrat administration letting in 20 million illegals. It is a big job. Trump, Miller, Holman, Bondi. It's a big job to undo the damage, limit the damage Biden did, but when he opened the border. But things are going pretty well. Again, zero murders in D.C. That's what we're celebrating today. 0 murders in our nation's capital for a week. Pretty amazing when you think about it. And carjackings, everything down. It's working. Get that report from D.C. Here's a quick rundown of how things are going in the past week in our nation's capital.
National Guard hit the ground in Washington last week. That city's crime fight went into overdrive. And now we're seeing the impact and the dramatic reductions in crime. When the National Guard rolled into Washington last week, the locals seemed skeptical.
The crime is minimal here. There's not really a lot of crime here. It looks like window dressing to me.
But with the Guard on the ground, crime is on the decline. For the first time in a long time, D.C. has gone 7 days without a homicide. And that's not all. Carjackings are down 83%. Robberies are down 46%. Car thefts down 21%. And overall violent crime is down 22%.
When you have these kind of numbers going down, it basically says this is a success. And that means people feel safer.
Like many big cities, Washington's police department is critically short-staffed.
People who don't feel safe aren't free.
Sergeant Betsy Smith with the National Police Association says it is ripe for federal help.
More police generally equals less crime.
Yes, it does. As we see, they have 30 days. They have 3 more weeks. The initial operation was for 30 days. What do you think D.C. residents are going to say after 30 days? Are they going to say, thanks, you can go now? Or are they going to beg for the National Guard, for the other federal troops, federal law enforcement officials to stay and continue to make the city safe? Such a simple thing. Wasn't even a consideration for the last 4 years. Why don't we shore up the law enforcement in our nation's capital and make it safe? What? Who could be against that? Well, we got our answer. Democrats are against that. They're disappointed today, quietly, that there were no murders, and carjackings are down 83%. Again, last year, there were almost 1,000 carjackings in D.C. It was out of control. Most of them committed by children. And these guys, just by walking the streets, are bringing an end to that and making it safer. But all right, that's just one. That's just one example of how Democrats have lost their mind and lost their voters, lost their support. There was an amazing article in the New York Times. I think you can read it. It's not behind a paywall. I just read it, about how Democrats are hemorrhaging support. They're hemorrhaging voters across the board. Red states, blue states, young, old, Hispanic, white, black. They are losing support, and we all know why, because they have embraced the far left. They've embraced the squad, the policies. They're supporting people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Bernie Sanders, and now Zoran Mamdani in New York City. And Democrat voters are waking up, and they are bailing in droves. We'll get to that story. And I will just say this: my favorite judge of all time, just a great, great American, Judge Frank Caprio, passed away. We will pay tribute to this wonderful Rhode Island judge. We'll get to that and more. But first.
Excuse me.
All right, have you tried Callahan coffee yet? Well, you should. It's really good stuff. Our first branded product. This is a premium dark roast blend roasted fresh to order in Waltham, Mass. The Callahan coffee blend combines beans from 3 continents to create a unique natural coffee flavor, rich with chocolate and sweet with caramel taste notes, creating a full-bodied dark roast with low acidity. People keep telling us they love it. They keep ordering more. You got to try it. Callahan Coffee is a great way to directly support this show. So order it now at CallahanCoffee.com. That's CallahanCoffee.com. You know, The story is in the New York Times. Keep that in mind. This is a far left rag. It's not really a newspaper. It's more of a political newsletter in support of far left Democrat policies and far left Democrat politicians. That's what the New York Times is. It is a dishonest shell of its former self. But this story is eye-opening and remarkable. I'll just read a little bit of it. Again, I recommend, it's long, but I recommend you read it because it is just so revealing. The Democrat Party is hemorrhaging voters long before they even go to the polls. Of the 30 states that track voter registration by political party, Democrats lost ground to Republicans in every single one between 2020 and 2024, and often by a lot. That 4-year swing towards Republicans adds up to 4.5 million voters, a deep political hole that could take years for Democrats to climb out of. The stampede away from the Democrat Party is occurring in battleground states, the bluest states and the reddest states, according to new analysis of voter registration data by the New York Times. And they run through it. They got maps, they got graphs. There is no good news, none for Democrats. This is the ultimate wake-up call. What you have done, Democrats, for the last 5 years has been a disaster. Everything, you name it, the boys and girls sports, the border, crime, the Ukraine, you have taken the wrong side of every issue and doubled down. And we're only a year and a half away from the midterms. And by the way, the new map, the redistricting in Texas just passed the House after that long stunt from the Democrats leaving the state. They're back and they've passed it, and it's going to pass the Senate, and it's going to be signed into law. That's at least 5 seats that may flip. And bad news, Jazzy Jasmine Crockett may lose her seat. We're hoping she survives and remains out front, remains a leader in the party. And of course, we're hoping she runs for president. It goes on. Few measurements reflect the luster of a political party's brand more clearly than the choice by voters to identify with it, whether they register on a clipboard in a supermarket parking lot or at the DMV or in the comfort of their own home. And fewer Americans are choosing to be Democrats. In fact, for the first time since 2018, more new voters nationwide chose to be Republicans than Democrats. Democrats lost 2.1 million registered voters between 2020 and 2024 in 30 states. It's everywhere. Democrats went from nearly an 11 percentage point edge over Republicans on Election Day 2020 to just over a 6 percentage point edge in 2024. This, I don't want to say the death cycle of the Democrat Party, but there seems to be no end to this, said Michael Prusser, who tracks voter registration and data for Decision Desk HQ, an election analysis site. There is no silver lining or cavalry coming across the hill. This is month after month, year after year. So what's their answer? This is great news for Republicans. Their answer, and by the way, they break it down, every single state, Republicans are up, Democrats are down. They got all the graphics. Their answer, a greasy, lying, slimy chameleon, Gavin Newsom. That's their answer. Gavin Newsom is taken off. Pauly Market now has the odds at 30% that Gavin Newsom will be the next president, and he is leading the pack. He's surpassed Kamala and AOC and everyone else. Gavin Newsom. I got a question. When he runs, when they get to the general, they say he wins the primary. I mean, he can speak, which is more than you could say for Kamala or Tim Walz or many of the Democrats on that list, more than Jasmine Crockett. So he gets the nomination. He's running against J.D. Vance. How does he defend? How do you, as a Democrat, defend his record in California? What do you say? They have the highest taxes, the highest unemployment, the most homeless. They have the most illegal aliens, which is a problem because the Trump administration is rounding them up and kicking them out. You got the wildfires. You got the LA riots. You have the exodus from that state, losing millions of people. People are just fleeing the conditions that Gavin Newsom has set in that state. How do you defend that? How does that play in a general election? I mean, I know he'll just lie, but I watched his debate against Ron DeSantis. It wasn't good. He's not a good debater. He's so slick that you don't feel like he's real. He's not genuine. And they don't understand. Here's the problem Democrats have more than anything, in my opinion. Well, two problems. One is they're on the wrong side of every 80-20 issue. But the other thing is they still don't understand Trump's appeal. More than anything else, Trump's appeal is about authenticity. You know, they'll call him a liar and all, but he is what he is. He's genuine. You know, he doesn't change. He doesn't put on a orange vest and go hunting like Tim Walz. He doesn't get in a tight T-shirt and go pick up trash like Gavin Newsom. He just wears a suit with a red tie and acts and is himself. You know, you don't have to like him, but you can't say he's fake. He's the least fake president, least fake politician in all our lifetimes. It's about authenticity, and it's about keeping your promises to the voters, which is what he's doing now. That's the appeal. People might not like his style, but they know it's real. When you look at Gavin Newsom, it's just the opposite. There's no authenticity, none. I mean, he's obviously, you know, looks good. You know, he's nice, got good hair. He's in good shape. But everything he says is scripted. Now his thing is to mock Trump on Twitter. He's got his team. He doesn't do it, but he's got his team. And they tweet with capital letters and exclamation points, and they mock Trump. And some people think it's funny, but that's his idea of creating an image. That's fake. That's not real. That's stolen. There's nothing real about the man. And I want to know, what does he say when he's running for president in a year and a half, 2 years, and there's no homes rebuilt in Pacific Palisades or Malibu? If we see that video again that Adam Carolla posted, or he's done it a few times, of just the wasteland that is still Pacific Palisades, that they've rebuilt nothing. Those houses burned because of Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass and the DEI fire chief. That was not a natural disaster. That was man-made by bad leadership. That was their fault. What does he say in a debate, on a campaign appearance, in a press conference, when they say, why has there not been a home rebuilt? You want that guy to run the country? What does he say? And I'd love to hear something from him today about the 3 innocent Americans killed by an illegal alien in Florida just the other day because Gavin Newsom gave a guy from India who can't speak English, who can't read road signs, a CDL. And by the way, he's still doing it. This is disgusting to me. I mean, how is there not some accountability? How is Gavin Newsom not asked about this by someone? What do you say to the families of the 3 Floridians, 3 people in the minivan who were killed by a guy who shouldn't even be here, shouldn't be driving, certainly not driving an 18-wheeler, a guy who can't read road signs was on our highways, and people are dead. This is from California. This week, they're still giving CDLs to illegal aliens who can't speak English. Our roads aren't safe because of Democrats like Gavin Newsom. Can we hear from these fine gentlemen?
ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਬਾਈ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਅੰਕਲ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਮਜ਼ਾਕ 'ਚ ਸਮਝਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ
They're standing in front of the DMV in California holding up their CDLs, and they can't speak English and they can't read road signs and they don't respect our laws. This was days after one of their fellow illegals killed 3 people. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, it's a chance you take living in America, living in a place where someone like Gavin Newsom can give these guys CDLs. I don't know, again, why we allow it. Why do we have to live like this? That guy is your leading candidate. He's going to run for president. Can you say something to the families of the victims? Can you say something to the people whose houses are gone? Or how about the people who've left your state because your taxes are so high, your regulations? Yeah, here's a good one from this moron. And he on top of it all, he's not that smart. As we know, Trump has come out against mail-in balloting. It's come out hard. Obviously, mail-in balloting should be eliminated. Obviously, we got to stop this. It's just a recipe for cheating and fraud. So Trump says we got to get rid of mail-in balloting. Hell, he said it with Zelensky sitting right next to him. He said it a lot. It's a noble effort. This is how you cheat with mail-in balloting. So Trump comes out against it, which means Gavin Newsom has to come out for it. And he actually tweets this. And I think it's still up. I mean, Trump wants to eliminate vote by mail. Gee, I wonder why. And he puts a map up. Which states had the most mail-in ballots? So all the blue are places with lots of mail-in ballots, including California, Oregon, Washington State, Colorado. Democrats won them. And he thinks he's owning Trump with that tweet. He doesn't even do his own tweets. He has a team. He has a team of wokesters, of idiots. That is making Trump's point right there. That's where you can cheat with mail-in balloting, and that's where Democrats dominated. What an absolute dope. I guess I should be glad. I mean, obviously, they have no good candidate. They're not going to nominate Josh Shapiro, who would be much better, but because, he's Jewish, and that wouldn't sit well with their squad and all their far left pro-Hamas constituents. But I can't Vance against this guy. And by the way, they're going to nominate a white guy, a rich white guy. Good luck with that. I'm so looking forward to this. And by the way, the campaign's begun. Gavin Newsom is ignoring everything in his estate right now, ignoring the disaster in LA, in the Palisades in Malibu, and he's out campaigning, and he's out tweeting and doing podcasts and speaking like a candidate. And good, bring it on. Here's the great Scott Jennings explaining the Democrats' problem, and of course the cackling liberals on the panel just try to shout him down, but sums it up nicely in a quick soundbite. Go ahead.
I think the Democrats are hemorrhaging voters because they've chosen all the wrong constituencies. They seem to care more about illegal aliens than American citizens, violent criminals than law-abiding citizens, and the Palestinian flag more than the American flag. That is not true, and that is. And when you take those positions on things like that, people tend to run to the other party. And
is there one mainstream Democrat?
That is perfect. And you know what? It sounds like hyperbole. It's not. We've gone through it. We explained it to you. I did the whole show yesterday on how they prioritize illegal aliens. And not only are illegal aliens their top priority in all blue states at this point, certainly in New England, but they just don't care about the victims. Have you heard one Democrat mention Elizabeth Camacho, 48-year-old Cambridge woman, probably a Democrat, probably a Liz Warren supporter? She's dead. And Liz Warren doesn't say her name, doesn't care. Why? Because she was killed by an illegal alien. If she were killed by a white guy with an AR-15, they wouldn't stop talking about her. It's just so cynical and soulless. It's like, yeah, we lost a lovely woman from Cambridge, but it wouldn't be politically expedient for us to talk about her, so we'll ignore it. We'll pretend it didn't happen. Have you heard one Democrat mention the 3 folks in Florida who died because Gavin Newsom gave that illegal alien criminal from India a CDL? Have you heard a word about that? And what happened? I mean, hopefully he's tried in Florida, convicted, and does 20 years. But you want to hear the most disturbing story you'll hear today. I mean, it is relevant. It's not the U.S., it's Canada, but let's face it, Canada has the same problem we have here, unfettered immigration and political correctness and woke leaders like Trudeau and the next guy. I mean, I just doing some research on this problem we have with illegal aliens in trucks who don't respect our laws, who can't read road signs, who shouldn't be behind the wheel. Think about that when you're on the highway today or this weekend, that some of those trucks are being driven by people who can't read the signs. Why? Because Democrats wanted illegal aliens in here to help them get elected. They want them to vote. They want them to count in the census. That's why you have an illegal alien who can't read a road sign, who can't read no U-turn. So he takes a U-turn and kills 3 Americans. Well, it happened, you may remember this, in Canada a few years ago. This is from the Daily Mail today. A truck driver who spent 4 years behind bars after killing half a junior ice hockey team in a horrific crash is fighting deportation back to India. Jaskrit Singh Sidhu, 36, barreled through a stop sign at 53 to 60 miles per hour, and a bus carrying 29 players and staff of the Humboldt Broncos couldn't stop in time. The bus collided with the truck's front trailer, killing 16 and injuring 13 in the crash on April 2018. You may remember this. ESPN covered it, and it was heartbreaking. Killed 16. He was jailed for 8 years. March of 2019, was released on parole after spending 4 years and 4 months behind bars. He returned to his suburban life with his Canadian wife, and the couple had a baby. Sidhu's case is similar to that of Harjit Singh, who killed 3 people when he made a wrong illegal U-turn across 2 lanes of traffic in Florida on August 12th. This guy killed 16 people and did 4 years. That is 3 months per life. That is Canada, and that would have been America had Kamala Harris or Joe Biden won in November. 3 months per life. All kids, young kids, teenagers, hockey players, all dead because Canada gave a CDL to an illegal alien. You know, I guess we're lucky. Harjit Singh only killed 3 Americans, but we'll see what kind of time he does. And why is he even here? He's a fake asylum seeker. You have to seek asylum from India? Oh, was he oppressed? Was it a gang war? And by the way, there are a lot of countries between India and the U.S. If you're really seeking asylum, if you're really being oppressed, you got to stop at any of them, most of them, and sought asylum. But no, you come here. You know why? Because you get lots of free stuff and you get a CDL, and that is a disgrace. All right, we got to get to this story, which I have to admit, I was watching some videos of the great Judge Frank Caprio this morning, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I was welling up. All right, I was weeping like a baby. All right, watching this man. I love this man. I said this one time there. I online, I'm going to guess I've watched, I don't know, 10, 20, 50,000 videos in the last decade, you know, just 2-minute videos on Twitter, online. This is my favorite. I'm just going to declare it. This is my favorite video I've ever seen. I mean, obviously, I enjoyed some of the videos of Joe Biden wandering in the forest or shaking hands with dead people, or some of the videos from the laptop gave me great joy. But this hit me right here. And I did it again. I watched this morning and started crying. But Judge Frank Caprio from Rhode Island, just an amazing American, just an amazing man, passed away yesterday of pancreatic cancer, made it to 88, had a pretty good run, and just had a pretty good life. Father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and just a great soul. Here he is he was a Rhode Island judge, but they made a TV thing out of it, what was his TV show called? It was, he won Daytime Emmy Awards for his TV courtroom show in Providence, and he earned them. But Here's just one example of what makes this guy so special. Good.
The show is called Caught in Providence, by the way.
Caught in Providence. I'm guessing they weren't all this this uplifting. I'm guessing there was some losers in his courtroom and some, I mean, like Judge Judy, people that he mocked and ridiculed and threw the book at. But this was not one of those cases. This is a 96-year-old man caught speeding. Check it out.
Hey, sir. Good morning, Judge. Mr. Carrera, you are charged with a school zone violation.
Beg pardon?
You are charged with a school zone violation, which means that you were exceeding the speed limit in a school zone.
I don't drive that fast, Judge. I'm 96 years old and I drive slowly, and I only drive when I have to. I was going to the blood work for my boy. He's handicapped.
You were taking your son to the doctor's office?
Yeah, I take him for blood work every 2 weeks because he's got cancer.
You are a good man. You are a good man. You really are what America is all about. Here you are in your 90s, and you're still taking care of your family. That's just a wonderful thing for you. Well, how old is your son?
63.
Yeah. And Daddy's still taking care of him, right?
I only drive when I have to.
Yeah. You see that young man over there? That's my son. Now, he's looking at me saying, Dad, when you're in your 90s, you're going to be driving me around. You're setting a bad example for my kid. You're putting a lot of pressure on me. Listen, sir, I wish you all the best. I wish the best for your son, and I wish you good health, and your case is dismissed. Good luck to you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
All right. 2 questions before we move on. Who's the cop who gave this guy a ticket? And maybe he shouldn't be on the road anymore. He's 96, taking his handicapped 63-year-old son for blood work, and a cop wrote him up. What did he get? Did he lip off like that other Rhode Islander, the AG in Rhode Island? Was he resisting? But that's just one. There's 1,000 of them. This guy is so good. Here's another one. Yeah, let's get to this. With a Vietnam vet he's been fined, I think, $270 and can't afford to pay it. Here's how Frank Caprio handled it.
You were going to the VA hospital?
Yeah.
Were you in the service, sir?
Yeah.
What branch of the service?
See my
no. What branch?
Your Honor.
Yeah. When did you serve?
Vietnam.
You in Vietnam?
Yeah.
How long were you in Vietnam?
66 to 68, Your Honor.
2 years.
Yeah.
You know, I have a very particular affinity toward those that served in Vietnam. Number one, because of the service to our country. And number two, because of the way they were treated when they came home.
I'm not looking for anything special as far as my military service, Your Honor. You know, that's up to you, your discretion.
No, you didn't bring it up. I brought it up.
Okay.
And you are just like all of the other Vietnam veterans that I know. They're not looking for anything, right? They're all real men. They're willing to take it on the chin, and they're not looking for anything special. And unfortunately, when they came back from Vietnam, they weren't treated the way they should have been treated. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Did you have any of those experiences?
I'm sorry?
Did you have any of those experiences when you came home? Yeah. The total fines are $270. How much can you afford to pay?
I'd have to pay like in a time thing here. I'm on a set income, you know. So if you can give me some time to pay it up, I'll pay it.
How much can you pay?
I don't know, Your Honor, whatever, you know.
What have you got with you tonight?
I don't, $50 maybe, something like that.
Sir, I'm going to charge you $25, and your $25 payment is going to be paid by one of the many people who have sent in contributions to this court to be used in my discretion for people that I think are worthy. So I'm going to fine you $25. You don't have to pay it. Okay, so it's going to cost you nothing. So as far as you were concerned, the case is dismissed. We appreciate your service in Vietnam. Thank you for your service, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
That guy was great. You know, so many bad judges, so many just crazy DEI hires and judges now, but that guy was the real deal. Should have been on the Supreme Court. No, I'm not crying. I know what you're thinking. I'm crying. I'm not. I've just a little choked up. That's all. I love that guy.
Dusty. It's just Dusty.
Just Dusty in here. 88 years old. Good run for Judge Frank Caprio. May he rest in peace. All right, Ironhead, did you do the Pete and Bobby challenge?
No, I actually decided to have some chicken parm instead.
Oh, you did. I see. You got to do it. I at some point, find it. Well, you know, like I said, you can do one pull-up at a time. It might take you a month, but you got to do it. There's no time limit. I saw the Robert Kennedy, he challenged Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary and father of 9, I believe. He looks like he's in good shape. He's not fat or anything. It took him 12 minutes. That's a long time. He's not, he doesn't appear to be that out of shape or that old, but he struggled. And I think someone had to help him, like hold his legs when he did pull-ups. And people are doing it now and mocking like the form that Hegseth had or the form that RFK had. Jason Crow, that congressman from Colorado, did it and said, here's how you do proper pull-ups, Pete. And he shows him doing like 3 pull-ups. Well, you've got to do 50, dude. Let's see you on the 50th. It's not that easy. So, I mean, my last one, I had to do like 3 more and it was a struggle, but I'm still feeling pretty good about my 6:13 time after Sean Duffy took 12 minutes, but Ironhead's going to get at it because I've challenged you. That's what you got to do. After you do it, you got to challenge someone else. And I've challenged you. You could just sit there all day, one pull-up at a time. That's all. You can do push-ups, can't you?
I can do push-ups.
That's not the problem.
It's the pull-ups.
100. I know that's what everyone says. 100 push-ups. That should be no problem. Just do 50 pull-ups, one at a time, and time it. And we'll see if you can break 3
30
hours.
minutes. Yeah.
See if you can beat Sean Duffy, 12 something. There's a lot of people who are trying this and struggling badly. But all right, that will do it for today, this Thursday, August 21st. 0 homicides. I wonder how long that'll last. 0 homicides. Democrats are hoping. They're hoping for a homicide today, hoping someone screws up this wonderful operation, which is going beautifully in D.C. And this weekend, summer weekend, a lot of tourists, they're all going to walk. They have a bounce in their step as they tour our historic monuments and buildings in D.C. because Trump has made it safe. That is a wonderful thing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Gerry Callahan. This is The Callahan Show, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
It's about right and wrong, period. The guy's a monster. It's beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's scary.